is Josh.
Did you know that Colorado has over 300 blue sky days a year? With all this natural daylight coming our way, it seems silly to go through all that time and energy to create electricity for the artificial lighting fixtures that are in our school.
Our building was designed to be transparent, so this means that we can stand at one end of the school and look all the way down to the other end of the school and see our gorgeous foothills in the distance. Since our building is over 500 feet long, that's really impressive and about as transparent as a building can get.
As Bobby just said, our school is really long from east to west, but short from north to south. This maximizes the amount of natural daylight that comes into our school. One of the unique features of Kinard is that each of our classrooms has exterior windows that allows natural daylight to come into our school. This exposes our children to the most maximal amount of daylight possible.
The orientation of our site allows us to minimize the sunrise and sunset glare, but take full advantage of the seasonal changes in the sun's angle in the sky.
Hi, welcome to the Media Center. I'm Kate and this is Courtney, and we are going to tell you about key important features in this room that are very energy efficient. If you look up, you can see these lights, and while they look like lights, they are actually called Sola Tubes. Sola Tubes have a dome-like structure on the top of the roof that collect and absorb all of the natural sunlight. It then travels down the tube and into the room below. So if you look through these windows right here, you will see the window walls, and these window walls help block direct sunlight coming in from outside. With sunlight, with too much of it, it will cause too much heating in the room, which will cause the air conditioner to work overtime. So we use these window walls to block direct sunlight, which creates a nice, cool environment for learning. Also, if you look up, you notice that our ceilings are open. The reason for this is we want students to be able to learn wherever they go. This teaches people how our building functions and keeps everyone cool and comfy inside. Another thing cool about our ceilings is they have a slant to help transfer the direct sunlight all the way throughout the room and reflect directly on top of the students below.
You may have heard Courtney talk about the Sola Tubes and the way they function on the top of the roof. And I just wanted to mention how many more Sola Tubes we have here. At our school, we have about 100 Sola Tubes. At the top of our school, we have domes that collect the sunlight, and they distribute it evenly to each of the pods in our middle school. This cuts down a lot on the artificial fixtures in our school.
So you've just learned a lot about our architectural features, but let's go over there and learn more about the design features in depth. Here you can see that we have specially chosen rails, which might just seem like they're to keep students safe on the second level, but actually serve a very important part in our building transparency. They have grating and holes in them so that they can let the light from our giant windows come through and go through all the way down to the second level. And even our stairs help with the natural daylight because they have tiny Swiss cheese-like holes that allow the sunlight to go into all the nooks and crannies.
Because we have so many windows, we have to be really smart on how we design them. At our windows, we have two different parts. The first 4 layers have a tint that allows the maximum amount of daylight to come into our school. However, it minimizes the glare because we don't want our students to have intensity in their eyes. The last layer, however, serves a different purpose, which is to maximize the amount of sunlight that comes into our school.
Hi, I'm David and this is Jack, and we're going to talk to you about how natural light affects classroom and our learning environment. The windows along the exterior walls here at Kinard allow for the maximum amount of natural daylight to enter the building. Do you notice the blind-like features in the top windows?
These are called light louvers. They serve the purpose of redirecting the light up towards the ceiling, however do not serve the purpose of blocking out light like blinds do. This is so that the ceiling, which you can see is slanted, can redirect the light all the way across the classroom. It is slanted so that we can use as much natural daylight as possible. This is known as the cloud effect because it acts like the clouds outside, which obviously redirect the light down back onto the earth, such as the ceiling redirects the light back down onto the students for a good learning environment. As you can see, the lights are not on in this classroom right now. It is a very cloudy day outside and not very much light is coming in. However, with these features in our classrooms, we can make it so that we do not have to use artificial lighting on gloomy days. Also, over here on the wall, another feature you can see is the color break from beige to white. This is because the bright white reflects more light than it absorbs, which creates a good learning environment for our students here at Kinard. Teachers are encouraged not to hang posters above this color break so that we can maximize our natural daylight intake.
Jack mentioned earlier that the cloud effect helps get natural daylight throughout the classroom, although it sometimes gets gloomy in the back of the classroom. And one feature that helps us stop this is we have Sola Tubes in the back of the classroom to help the sunlight be evenly distributed. Due to our position in the northern hemisphere, the north-facing classrooms need more windows and no light louvers because the sun rises in the east, goes towards the south or directly overhead, and then sets in the west. This allows for no direct sunlight rays to enter the classroom.
Another thing that helps us maximize our natural daylight intake is we have sensors on the roof of Kinard that sense when enough light is coming into the classroom that we do not need lights on in the classroom. These disable the light switch once it turns off the lights in the classroom so that no teacher or student can turn on the lights if there is already enough natural light coming in. This helps us to minimize our artificial energy use here at Kinard.